All right. We are back. We're back and better than ever. You know what's crazy is I think I didn't stream for what is it, like 3 or 4 days, and I feel like it's been so long. We have been uploading pretty much daily for a while now. There for a minute we're doing twice a week, but we were working on ranking videos for, in the background for days at a time. So this is the first like break I had, which it feels pretty good. And I can tell you that I think I streamed Saturday. So we're behind on the ranking videos. I'll tell you that right now. I know you guys are dying for that, I'm sure. But we streamed Saturday, got our tattoos Sunday, and I don't know if any of you out there that have had tattoos over 6 hours. Like I had an 8-hour full day tattoo, and the next day I felt like really hungover almost. Like it was, I think, for my body just being like releasing all the adrenaline and endorphins all at the same time. The next day I felt like really bad. So I was out Monday, and then my soon-to-be in-laws surprised us with a visit. So we've been hanging out with some family, and doing the important things. And I took that time to take a little break. Now, note that we have still been drafting the entire time, and we're going to continue to draft till this puppy draft is full. So it is like 85% of the way full. So make sure you get in there. And if you aren't already signed up for Underdog Fantasy, sign up on UnderdogFantasy.com. You can go in there and use code FFX54 above my head down below. It'll support me, take nothing away from you. And when I say take nothing away from you, it's because Underdog Fantasy matches your first deposit from $10 to $100 at 100%. So you can get in there, put in $100, and you get a free $100 to go ahead and bet with, and potentially turn that $100 investment or even a $10 investment into $2 million. So it's a lot of fun. I mean, the money's fun to think about, but really, if you just like drafting and want to get some practice, hop on in here and get into a puppy draft. But anyways, I'm very excited to be back streaming. Like I said, the wide receiver ranking videos, again, I'm sure all of you are absolutely dying for it, but they're going to be delayed. They're going to be delayed, which we do have some time, because we want to get them out, obviously, before the season starts and before everyone starts drafting. And everyone really starts drafting last week of August and early week of September, early September, first week. So we'll get ranking videos out this weekend, Monday or Tuesday at the latest. Oh, Justin Jefferson has passed Cooper Kupp. See, oh my God. When is that? I need some more Justin Jefferson, so I'm going to follow it. Normally, I would go Cooper Kupp and just capitalize on the ADP flip, but even though it's a pick, it's not a huge capitalization, but I really do have Justin Jefferson. I mean, you guys wouldn't know because my ranking videos aren't out, but Justin Jefferson is my number one receiver this upcoming year, so I do want more exposure to him, and I usually do end up taking Cooper Kupp in these drafts just because. Oh, Chris. I don't know if you're in the stream, but I see you in the draft, baby. Already starting off hot. Starting off with that DeAndre Swift pick 7. Chris, Mr. Evil, is one of our subscribers, so everyone say what's up to Chris in the comments. But anyways, I have been victim to following ADP too much in the first few picks. And I haven't taken Cooper Kupp over Justin Jefferson, even though I know for a fact that Justin Jefferson is my number one ranked receiver. So here we're going to go ahead and take Justin Jefferson because for him being my number one receiver, I have far too little exposure. So we do like starting it off with a little bit of Justin Jefferson exposure. And I'm kind of bouncing around here, but we are going to get the ranking videos out next week. And then we'll do running backs right after that. I think for the wide receiver ranking, since we're doing 24 wide receivers, we're just going to do it more of like a stream style. And do it kind of loose and off the cuff. And just kind of fly through them and not dive too deep. I think it's something I want to try first of all. Because, these ranking videos are new. And we switched up quarterback to tight end. We did a little bit of changes. And I think we're going to try something a little different again. I just don't know what works. I don't know what I like doing the most. So we're going to try more of a stream style draft. stream style ranking video for the wide receiver rankings so we can fly through them. Alvin Kamara continues to work his way up the board. We are in a situation where we could either take Tyreek Hill or Mark Andrews, but I will say the running backs are really flying off the board. And I think I'm going to go Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill is one of those players that, looking back on the season, it's very possible that everyone is just beating themselves up of why did we let Tyreek Hill fall to the end of the second? It's Tyreek Hill. Before he switched teams with Patrick Mahomes, obviously he was going in, late first, early second. But he has switched to a worse quarterback. But then again, Tyreek Hill is one of those players that the raw talent might carry him through and it might not matter. So, we do want a few shares of him, and when we compare him up with Justin Jefferson, that's starting off the draft with two very high-profile elite receivers, which is a good start in a best ball mania or in a best ball draft format. I always say best ball mania, but in a best ball draft format, that's a really good start. Nick Chubb is falling down my rankings because Deshaun Watson is not going to play this upcoming season. Not a fact, a speculation there, but I really don't think he plays after they appeal it. So I would like to go Leonard Fournette here if I can. But then again, if Mark Andrews is available to us, he goes. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and take Leonard Fournette here. Grab our first running back. Yeah. We'll grab our first running back. We have two very good receivers to start, and I do want to go ahead and grab a potentially elite running back based off of the ceiling that he has, pretty much mostly because of the offenses that he's on. We had all the reports about him being heavy and whatever. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to keep drafting Leonard Fournette, and again, I just told you why I'm not super high on Nick Chubb, so Leonard Fournette's kind of our only option. Now, do I like Travis Etienne over Leonard Fournette as far as skill set? And do I think that Travis Etienne has a higher ceiling? Potentially. Definitely a higher floor. So that would have been the player that I would reach on if I was going to reach. But we'll stick with Leonard Fournette here. If Alvin Kamara was available, I would have taken him over Leonard Fournette, just so you get an idea of where I rank my running backs. And again, those running back rankings will come out after the wide receiver rankings, and those might be more casual as well. I really do want to get them out there to be used as a resource for these drafts, so probably should crank them out sooner rather than later. But again, we're spending time with family, and we were kind of out of it there for Sunday and Monday, so the important thing is we're back. I could have hopped on here and did the wide receiver rankings today, but puppy draft is 85% full. We have got to capitalize. We've got to capitalize on that. Because once these puppy drafts are gone, it's really just the best ball draft that we're interested in, which that gets expensive. So we can't be doing multiple ones of those a day. What was I trying to do? Let me see. The big dog. Yeah, we're not doing that either. If 25 is too expensive, 10 times that is a little too steep for us. Little too steep. 2,000 entries, so you have a 1 in 2,000 chance of winning $100,000. Hold up. Let me see if I can swing it. Might be able to swing it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that. I'd rather do 10 of these. What up? How do you say your name? Currently drafting 11th spot and usually going Swift and Kamara, Barkley, or Adams. What do you guys think of that strat? I'm scared of the RBs in the 3rd and 4th. So I can tell you as far as history goes. Hold on, let me look at this real quick. He goes Breece Hall. I haven't forgot about you though. Give me 1 second. I think I'll go Cam Akers because and this is kind of a nice segue over to your question. I do think that the running backs have a huge drop off, and I think that I will say this year more than other, you can get some values in the 3rd and 4th with Breece Hall, with Travis Etienne. Avoid Zeke. Cam Akers has a high ceiling as well, even though he's not the sexiest pick. one more pick, and then I'm on your question. I think we'll go him if we can. If not, we will go. Let's just wait. Okay, we'll go Deontay Johnson. So I can like I was saying is if you look at the history from last year of the teams that were most successful moving on from their 12 team draft room into the playoffs in these best ball formats, a lot of them did have the running back hero start, which means you draft 2 running backs to start, which is pretty much the strategy you're going with when you go Swift, Kamara, or Barkley. So I am a huge fan of that. If you have watched any of these draft videos on my channel, this draft is actually an anomaly for me. I usually do go 2 running backs to start, and I love that draft strategy. I think that if you go 2 running backs to start, you really do have to hammer in wide receivers pretty aggressively for the next, grab 3 of the next 4 rounds, all wide receivers. I think that's the strategy that I like the most. But then again, history isn't always bound to repeat itself, and I do think there are values that you can find in the 3rd and 4th round that have potential to overproduce. So I think players like Leonard Fournette, we just got him in the 3rd. Players like James Conner, players like Travis Etienne, Breece Hall, Cam Akers. I think those players do have the ceiling access similar to those of a Javonte Williams or a Joe Mixon or a Najee Harris. Javier, okay, I like that. But yeah, so I wouldn't be too afraid of the running backs in the 3rd and 4th round because I don't think the dead zone is as Jurassic as it usually is this year as opposed to others. And if you also got to remember that the wide receivers that won leagues last year were Deebo Samuel and Cooper Kupp, and those guys were found in that mid-range 4th through 7th round of wide receivers. So to answer your question kind of loosely, I do like that strategy. I think that Swift, Kamara, and Barkley have an absolutely uncapped ceiling for the most part based on their receiving game and their skill set. So I think that strategy is very viable, and I think you should continue to hammer that if that's what you like. Because, in these best ball formats, when you're chasing that first place prize, you have to chase the ceiling. You can't be worried about Barkley potentially getting injured. You can't be worried about Kamara potentially getting suspended. You can't be worried about Swift being in a bad offense. You can't be worried about Adams being with a new quarterback. You have to shoot for those guys with the highest ceiling. So all in all, to sum it up, yeah, I think your strategy is completely fine. You're chasing the ceiling, and that's what you want. So I think you can hammer 2 running backs in the first 2 rounds and make it out just fine. And if you want proof of that, just look at last year's winners. But there's also a case to be made going through and grabbing a strategy like this where you go 3rd and 4th round running backs and hammer in your wide receivers early. Because you do have to start 3 wide receivers every week, which is why you're seeing that trend lately of the wide receivers going earlier and earlier. But like you said, the drop-off is pretty dramatic after, I would say, Breece Hall or Cam Akers. So you want to have 2 of those guys in the first 4 rounds, at least the way I see it. I've done Adams and Dig. Hold up. Cooper, I'm out on. Who do we want to go here? Actually, you know who I'm in on big time, which this is actually probably going to be a bad pick. Nah, what are we going to do? I really want to go Trey Lance and Brandon Ayuk, to be honest. I guess we're going to Amari Cooper. Do we save it? Okay, we ended up getting out Adam Thielen. So we're not going to go Trey Lance stack. I was debating it, but I can't bring myself to grab Trey Lance in the 6th round. That's just way too early for me. And we already have Justin Jefferson, so grabbing Adam Thielen opens up the door for us to grab Kirk Cousins. I don't know if he lines up as far as ADP goes, but we should be able to get him if we are aggressive enough on him. I just don't know how aggressive I want to be. Right now, I'm hoping for Josh Jacobs to fall to us. I think Josh Jacobs falling to the 7th round is absolutely ridiculous. And that's the type of value that you can get this year that you couldn't get before. And if you're out on Josh Jacobs because he played in the Hall of Fame game, you need to grow up. You just need to grow up. That's just how it is. Okay, yeah, so we get Josh Jacobs. I've done Adams and Diggs on 11 and 13, plus getting ETN and Hall on. See, I think that's beautiful. I think that is a beautiful strategy too. Adams and Diggs both have potential to be the number one receiver overall. Receivers' scores are higher. Their ceiling is higher than running backs. So if you're chasing those Adams and Diggs style wide receivers, then you come through with two young players that you're getting at a value based on the amount or the lack of play that we've seen them do on a professional field, which is 0 for both of them. So if either one of those bloom into the player that we think they will, you're getting a potential. I mean, honestly, you're getting a potential top 5 running back in the 3rd and 4th round. So when you pair that with Adams and Diggs in the 1st, I think it's a great strategy. Otherwise, Swift and Kamara can go around and get Pittman and DJ Moore or Williams. It's a redraft league. The steal, I think he blows up. Schlutz? I don't know if you're trying to get me, but I'm just trying to think if I would prefer Swift and Kamara with Pittman and DJ Moore, or if I would prefer Adams and Diggs. I think I would prefer Adams and Diggs with ETN and Hall. I think that would be my go-to team if you're comparing the combinations. All right. I'm going to... Does someone... No, Kirk Cousins at 117. We have a little bit of a quarterback run going here. 113, we might be able to get him at 118. But that being said, we're going to try and go with a quarterback at 94 and 99. So we'll look ahead and see the potential quarterbacks we have falling to us. I was going to say potentially Dak Prescott, but that's gone. And honestly, we have a dead zone after that. So, yeah, we're getting pretty thin at the quarterback position. Now, the nice thing is we do have Tyreek Hill. So worst comes to worst. Actually, no. I think 130. Yeah, 134 is the other side of the draft, which is where Tua goes. Yeah, we have quarterbacks flying off the board. So honestly, we're gonna have to punt them anyways. I'm not reaching on Matt Stafford, especially with no stack. So we're in a situation where we're just gonna continue to hammer these wide receivers and running backs. I think we're past the tight ends that I want to take. I think after you get past George Kittle or Dalton Schultz if you have the Dak Prescott stack, but once you get past George Kittle, might as well just wait till you're Robert Tunyons. If you look at the differential between tight ends outside of the top 7 versus tight ends outside of the top 20, the difference in fantasy points per game is 3 points. It's not worth investing in at a certain point. So I think what we'll just do is go ahead and hammer in some more wide receivers with high ceilings, just like we were talking about. So I think to do that, oh no. Very nice. God. Skin in my teeth. I think to do that, who do you guys prefer, Russell Gage or Tyler Lockett? Type in the chat quick. We're just grabbing flyers at this point. We're grabbing flyers, and then hopefully Kirk Cousins falls to us in the next round. I'm in on Jacobs at his current. I mean, yeah, bro. We're looking at... I got him at what, round 7? Pick 75 with Josh Jacobs as starting running back on a potentially very productive offense. I mean, neither. Those two shots of me split 50-50. Yeah, those are tough, but I will say I do like the Diggs Adams team better. I think your ceiling is higher with that build. Chris sneaking in here. I don't know if you want one of them or if you just don't like either. It's really up to anybody's guess with you. We do have Rashad Penny falling, but I already have my top 3 running backs, so I'm gonna wait on those guys, and I'm gonna draft the receiver with the highest ceiling, which might be Tyler Lockett. Especially if he goes through and gets another quarterback other than Geno Smith, which I just have to imagine they would grab a quarterback. I really do. I don't know who it would be. Don't ask me. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is a bit of a long shot with them being in the same division as the 49ers. So I think that is a little bit of a dream, although the 49ers probably aren't super threatened by him. But regardless, I think Tyler Lockett's skill set and the type of player he is gives us access to a very high ceiling. Not every week, like I wouldn't draft him in a redraft league, but I think he will give you random 30-point games. Chris comes in and asks, Woods, question mark. Yeah, no, I like Woods the most. But I have my solid wide receivers, so I'm really just looking for flyers that can give me random 30-point weeks. And I don't think Robert Woods is that player. I think Robert Woods is going to give you your 12 to 15 points steady. So I think he's better for a redraft style league and, a guy you could throw in your lineup confidently. But at this point in the draft, I'm going for flyers, and that's what Marquez Valdes-Scantling and Tyler Lockett are. And I will say our wide receiver room ceiling is extremely high right now. Now, we're nervous because Derek Carr is the only quarterback in front of the one we want, and we're all the way at the other side of the draft. Although I will say plenty of quarterbacks, like, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 of the 9 in front of me all have taken at least one quarterback, if not 2 already. So it is possible that we get Kirk Cousins coming back to us, which is what we really do need. But it's definitely not a guarantee. Definitely not a guarantee. But I've said this before, and I'll continue to say it. In these drafts, you have a predetermined plan, but you gotta just play the room. That's how you get your best teams, and that's how you get a super team. I know we do want a quarterback within the top 10 rounds, and we only have one. This is the 10th round. So if Kirk Cousins goes in the next 4 picks, we don't get that quarterback. But then again, we could play the ceiling on a guy going later and then stack our wide receivers and running backs so that if our quarterback that we take a chance on works out, then we have a stacked team around him. This is the player I'm nervous about taking Kirk Cousins, and he doesn't. So we do have Kirk Cousins falling to us to get the double stack with Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. So that feels really good. That makes me a lot more comfortable. Listed 3rd on the depth chart. Ooh, good thing I haven't been taking him. Now, the question here is Justin Fields or not. I really don't think so. I could reach on Tua, to be honest, which I actually might do. The only player that I'm a little bit excited about in front of him is going to be Michael Gallup. But I have so much Michael Gallup that Colts expect him to have to catch 60 or more passes this season according to real life trade value. But in the case of Colts, seemingly want to pump up Hines fantasy ADP. Yeah, like Isaiah Spiller would be a really good pick right here. But I don't want to, especially since Kirk Cousins is our top guy, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and grab Tua. Go ahead and grab Tua, and then we can afford to hope that a running back value falls to us instead of the other way around. Because if we miss out on Tua or this middle range quarterback, it gets really ugly down here. I don't want to start messing around in the Jameis Winston, Daniel Jones range. So we'll go ahead and just grab Tua, get the stack with Tyreek Hill. So now we have a stack with our number 1 and number 2 wide receivers, which really opens up the ceiling for us, especially being that the wide receivers that we have stacked are Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill. I mean, our ceiling is looking extremely high. Tua is one of those quarterbacks that can overproduce this year just based off of the supporting cast that he does have. I mean, the running back position, the tight end position, the wide receiver position. Everything around him is stacked, so I think that opens up his ceiling to a certain degree. Kirk Cousins is going into a year where he has a new head coach that's going to be very pass-happy, which works out well for Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, and Kirk Cousins, so that opens up his ceiling a little bit. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be top 10 quarterbacks, but what I am saying is they have potential to have massive spike weeks. Saved my draft. Hey, Chris, I never lost my draft. I'll tell you that right now. But Chris is talking shit per usual, so we'll go ahead and look at his team. DeAndre Swift at pick 7. I'll let that slide. Javonte Williams at pick 18, very rich. Allen Robinson at pick 31, very rich. So not liking the start. You go through and grab Juju, which is right on brand for you. So I'm fine with it. But then when you grab Allen Lazard in the 5th, hello? Russell Wilson stacked with Javonte? Chris Olave, Aaron Rodgers stacked with Allen Lazard. I'll give you that. Devontae Parker, DJ Chark. Yeah, Mr. Evil. I don't even know if you can save your draft at this point, my friend. Maybe if you get a KJ Hamler, that might save your stacks. Probably what you're going for here. Allen Lazard in the 5th is just bad. It's just bad. I know people want him to be the guy in Green Bay, but I don't think he's the guy. You know, and if he is the guy, I'll lose a ton of money this year because I have about 0 shares in him. But, Romeo Dobbso. Okay, I do like that pick a lot. In the 12th is very rich considering he was going in the 18th earlier in the year. But not in this Puppy 3 draft, so it's not the same. Like, Best Ball Mania has been open all offseason, whereas Puppy 3 draft has only been open like a week or two. So the ADPs aren't comparable to months ago. But we're coming up here. We have Irv Smith we could take for the triple stack, 10 picks behind ADP. We have KJ Osborne that we could take for the triple stack. I just don't really think that opens up our ceiling. I think that kind of limits us a little bit. I really want to go Christian Watson here. But I think we'll go Jahan Dotson. And with those receivers, I think our ceiling is plenty high, especially with our top 3 receivers. Like, this is our lock. And then any of these guys can fill in as our flex. So I think we'll stop at 7 receivers. And then we're going to go ahead and try to grab James Robinson here at pick 147. Very possible he goes. Praying he doesn't, but it's very possible he doesn't go. So we're going to go ahead and grab James Robinson in line to sit Friday. Achilles not in line to play in Friday's preseason game. We have a preseason game that soon. It's not surprised that Robinson. Yeah, this is exciting. I think James Robinson could end up just being the straight up starting back. Obviously Travis Etienne's been getting very good reports out of camp. I should have just taken KJ Hamler from you there, just to be a dick. I really should have. But then you probably would have grabbed Christian Watson. Yeah, I think James Robinson has access to plenty of touches in his offense. So grabbing him as our 4th running back feels pretty nice. But I will say I think one of our next 2 picks will be a running back as well. Because we're getting into that range where we're getting past the slightly relevant running backs and into the completely irrelevant running backs. Zamir White sliding up boards. I mean, if Josh Jacobs misses this year, again, it'll be a situation where I'm going to lose a bunch of money. But, I'm good on that. I'm going to keep drafting Josh Jacobs. I don't think that I think people are reading way too far into this Hall of Fame game. I think the coaching staff was trying to get an idea of what they have in the backfield. So if you're making decisions purely based off of that, then I think you have some reevaluating to do. Doing my Green Bay stack, we let you have Rojo. I didn't want Rojo. What you talking about? Nico Collins, again on brand for Mr. It's funny how people have... I'm surprised why didn't you grab KJ Hamler? Oh, that was a far better pick. You're stuck in your ways, Chris. You're too stuck in your ways. You got to get KJ Hamler for the stack. I mean, Javonte Williams isn't a true stack with Russell Wilson. Albert O's gone. My friend. KJ Hamler's a pick right there. We are getting to the point where we need a tight end, but I'll probably just grab 3 at the end. Maybe I'll probably grab a tight end and a running back right here. We'll go Jamal Williams if possible. And doesn't even matter. Could have. Not a big fan of Hamler. I mean, I don't see why not. He's a third option in an extremely good offense. Third options get plenty of looks. I don't think Cortland's that dude. Even if you don't like KJ Hamler, I think the team structure that you have going this draft asks for it. I think you're just so high on Nico Collins that you can't help yourself. Jamal Williams goes. Ugh. Marlon Mack, a top depth chart with Burkhead. Mack and Rex Burkhead are listed as the first running backs on the Texas unofficial depth chart for the preseason opener against the Saints on Saturday. Houston Chronicle reports a 2-year veteran lead the position group with the 2 veterans lead the position group with Mack's name listed first. It was presumed former Colts. Yeah, maybe we go Mack here. Because what's his it? All right, never mind. So we are going to grab a player that we have grabbed a ton of. We'll grab Robert Tonyan as our first tight end. Let me think. Raheem Mostert might be an option. I know he's so injury prone, but if he stays healthy, listed with starters on depth chart. Yeah, I mean, if he stays healthy, he's so explosive. He's so fast. And we do have the Miami Dolphins stack going on right now. So I think he is the pick for me right here. We're going to go ahead and grab Raheem Mostert. It's scary to reach this far on him. But we're going to go ahead and do it. I mean, when you're closer towards the end of these drafts, like when you're closer to either this side being the first 3 picks or this side being the last 3 picks in the first round, don't worry about ADP as much. And honestly, I have to remind myself of that every single draft because we were talking about it earlier this draft. I care way too much about ADP sometimes. And right here for me and this team, again, another thing we were talking about earlier in this draft is you have to shoot for the ceiling. You can't have injury concerns. You can't have doubts, and you can't play it safe is what I'm saying. So we're going to shoot for the ceiling on Raheem Mostert, and his ceiling is very high. Obviously he has an injury concern, but that's why we're getting him in round 15. So if he works out, stays healthy all season, it might be one of his first seasons staying completely healthy, and he could show us the player that he really is. Because even in his season opener, the only game he played last year, he was doing really well. So he's one of the most efficient backs when he is healthy. So considering we have the Dolphins stack already and we need a running back, I think that's the pick. Now, could he have fallen to 190? Yeah, probably. But I'm not really willing to risk it. I don't want Darrell Williams. I don't want Isaiah Pacheco, Chris. I don't want J.D. McKissick. Jerick McKinnon would have been my next up. But I like that Raheem Mostert pick, especially since we're so comfortable in our wide receivers. And I really do feel like a lot of the tight ends after TJ Hockenson are just all the same. I think they really are. I think you're just fishing for touchdowns, which is why I like going volume. If we get someone before and including Dalton Schultz, then we'll stop at 2 tight ends because they have opportunity and they're in a position to produce every single week. But other than that, most of the tight ends are just a plug and play, and you're fishing for touchdowns. So they're almost all in the same after him. Apparently, I'm shooting for second place. Yeah, you are. You are. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and win this division or win this league. So I wouldn't really try for first, to be honest, because I got that. So. Second's not bad, though. Silver's good. We're really hoping Matt DeLore doesn't take Evan Ingram, which he probably will. He doesn't. He goes Zach Wilson, and we know that Raven's not going to take him, so we'll take Evan Ingram here. I think Evan Ingram is a step above your Braven Jordans and your Mo Alley Coxes. So Evan Ingram is a nice second tight end. Then we'll be shooting for either a Braven Jordan, Mo Alley Cox, or Cameron Brate. I think Cameron or Logan Thomas. What pick are we at? I think Cameron Brate probably has the highest ceiling, though, I will say. I think Braven Jordan's probably the most skilled player. What we really could do here, actually. Yeah, I'm going to risk it for the biscuit. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to walk the walk. We've been talking the talk, but we'll walk the walk here. We're comfortable with our quarterbacks. We're comfortable with our wide receivers. So we're gonna go ahead and add some running back depth here. So now our running backs are Leonard Fournette, Cam Akers, Josh Jacobs, James Robinson, Raheem Mostert, and J.D. McKissic. I think that raises the ceiling and the consistency of our running backs. We're very comfortable with our wide receivers: Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen, MVS, Tyler Lockett, Jahan Dotson as a late round flyer. And then our tight ends, we talked about that, and our quarterbacks are definitely the weakest room that we have. But given the stacks and given the new opportunities they have, we're shooting for the ceiling on those guys. They don't really have rushing potential at all. But if we can get 20 to 25 points from them collectively, then the rest of our team will make up for any lack of points. So that's the strategy with this draft in particular, or that's the hope. If this draft were to work out, I think when you go back and look at the season, that's what you would see, is you see 20 points bouncing back and forth between Kirk Cousins and Tua, and then you have our running backs and wide receivers just performing every single week. That's how it would unfold if we did end up winning this league. Status for opener not decided. So when do these games start? Damn, this got me excited. NFL schedule. Oh yeah, Ravens play tomorrow. Oh my god. Oh, I'm fully torqued. So is this? Oh yeah, this is what I'm fucking talking about. I'm gonna get copyright strike from my language. I just can't help myself though. Football's back. Football is back, and I want to see the Browns. I want to see the Browns because they said that they're going to play most of their starters, including Deshaun Watson. So I think people are going to view this game at a very high rate. I think that's going to be a lot of viewers for week 2 of preseason. Tyler Conklin has gotten good buzz. That's interesting because he's one of those guys that we've been keeping an eye on, and I think for a while there, CJ Uzomah was talked about being the starter for most of the offseason. So now that Conklin is getting some buzz, that's who I'm higher on. So that's actually really interesting. If I had a stack on the Jets, then I would be interested in that. But I think with this team, I honestly want to say Logan Thomas is the better choice. Between Logan Thomas, Cameron Brate, and Mo Alley Cox. Let me think about this. Would you rather have Deontay Johnson and Aaron Jones or T. Higgins and Elijah Mitchell? Deontay Johnson, Aaron Jones, 100%, especially with the Devontae Adams leaving the Green Bay Packers. I think that Aaron Rodgers will use Aaron Jones as a crutch in the receiving game. I'm not worried about A.J. Dillon because they're used so differently. I love Deontay Johnson. T. Higgins is a wide receiver too, a very productive one at that, but still not a Deontay Johnson, even though the quarterback position is better. And Elijah Mitchell I'm scared of because he has no receiving upside. So I prefer Johnson and Aaron Jones by a large margin. I still don't know what I'm doing here, though. Oh, Logan Thomas gets taken, so that is easier for us. And I think that we're going to go ahead and grab Cameron Brate for now. No, we're going to grab Mo Alley Cox. Cameron Brate is a higher ceiling, but I just don't buy that they opened the season with him as a starting tight end. If it was a random team, then maybe, but Tom Brady goes out and gets who he wants. He's got Antonio Brown last year. He went out and got Julio Jones this year. Got Russell Gage. I don't think it's kind of championship or bust for him right now. So I think he presses for a far better tight end option. We have some shares in Cameron Brate, and I don't really want any more exposure unless our hands are tied. So the team ended up being Kirk Cousins and Tua at quarterback. So our weakest part of the room, other than tight ends maybe. Our running backs are Leonard Fournette, Cam Akers, Josh Jacobs, James Robinson, Raheem Mostert, stacked with Tua and J.D. McKissic. Our wide receivers are Justin Jefferson, stacked with Kirk Cousins, Tyreek Hill, double sack with Tua, Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen, double sack with Kirk, MVS, Tyler Lockett, Jahan Dotson, extremely high ceiling with these wide receivers. And our tight ends are Robert Tonyan, Evan Ingram, Mo Alley Cox. Boring, but again, we're fishing for touchdowns, so I'm not really worried about that. Projection is 2,800. We don't really care about this too much, but we take note of it. Killa, what's good? Conklin, hey, I was talking about it earlier this stream. I took like 3 or 4 days off, and I feel like I haven't streamed in years. But what has been good is tattoo was 8 hours on Sunday. Felt hungover from the tattoo on Monday, so I felt really bad. And then we had the future in-laws come and visit us this week. They're actually still here, not too far away from our house, so we'll be bouncing it out of them. So the wide receiver rankings got delayed till this upcoming week, which we do have time because these drafts, the redraft leagues, don't really start drafting until last weekend of August or first week of September. So we have a little bit of time, and we're going to use that time to spend some time with family. So that's what's been going on. That's why we missed a couple of days. But it is weird how, I think I have like 45 videos at this point, and we've been posting pretty regularly. And when we haven't been posting, we've been working on posts with the ranking videos, because those tight end and quarterback ranking videos took like 4 days to make each. So it is weird how I missed like 4 days. I haven't streamed since like Saturday. It's only Wednesday, and I felt like I was just like itching to get back. So I'm so pumped to be back on here, and we do a puppy draft wrapping up. So we got to get in here before it's too late. So this is our team. Killa, I had an amazing draft to start. I had an amazing start to a draft. Been waiting to tell you. CMC at the 1 or 2. Swift fell all the way to the end of the second round, unless CMC fell to like pick 4. But either way, Swift falling late second round. Barkley falling to the... Okay. Wait, what? I just read Chris's comment. Dude. Don't change, Chris. But how did... Okay, you have got to tell me where you got those players. I don't know. I have no idea how you got CMC, Swift, Barkley, and Hill. Bruh. All right, we're going to look at Mr. Evil's team while we're waiting for Killa to respond, though. DeAndre Swift, Javonte, Allen Robinson, Juju, Allen Lazard, Tony Pollard, Russell Wilson, Chris Olave, Aaron Rodgers, stacked with Romeo Doubs and Allen Lazard. So the ceiling is there. Even though I don't like Lazard, the ceiling definitely is there. So I see the stack you're building, and I can't really knock you for that, even though I want to joke with you about Allen Lazard. Do think your ceiling is very high. No real stack with Russell Wilson, even though Javonte's sort of, kind of. You got Devontae Parker, DJ Chark, Romeo Doubs, Nico Collins, Brian Robinson, Austin Hooper, Isaiah Pacheco, Tyler Conklin, Logan Thomas. Oh, you heard us talking about Logan Thomas, and you scooped him from us. I see what you did. All right, let me look at this positionally. Actually, this might be easier. Okay, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, DeAndre Swift, Javonte, Tony Pollard, Brian Robinson, Isaiah Pacheco. I think your ceiling is just fine with these running backs. And I think you got the ceiling out of value. So I do actually like your running back room quite a lot, because there are question marks with Javonte and Tony Pollard, but they have access to a massive ceiling. And so does Brian Robinson, honestly. Not as large of a ceiling, just because Washington is bad. But it's very possible that Brian Robinson ends the season as a starting running back in Washington. So I like your running back room. Allen Lazard, Allen Robinson, Juju, Allen Lazard, Chris Olave, Devontae Parker, DJ Chark, Romeo Doubs, Nico Collins. Don't love the wide receivers. I don't think you have an elite ceiling with them, but I think that you have a decent floor and a mediocre ceiling. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't love this team at all. Very on brand for you, though. Not that I don't love it, but it's very on brand with the players that you took. Nico Collins is a staple for you. Juju's a staple for you. Isaiah Pacheco's a staple for you. It could work, but I'm not in love. Tight end's weak. The rest was okay. Yeah, that's how I feel too. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad by any stretch of the imagination. I just don't think it's your best team. But, we always talk about it. And this is what we tell ourselves every time we draft a team we're not happy with. It is portfolio diversification, okay? You don't love it, but, we have a hand in that pot now. So, we bought a lottery ticket and we'll move on. We'll put it in the reservoir. We'll put it, we'll put it aside and hope it pays off later, but that's how we sleep at night. That's how we sleep at night. Shout out to everyone coming out though on my first stream back. Man, I'm glad you guys are as hype as I am because I was so excited to get back in these drafts. Or I've been in the drafts, but so excited to stream again and say what's up to you guys. So thanks for everyone dropping the like, and if you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. We do normally post pretty regularly. This is kind of a 4-day stretch where we didn't post, but we do post pretty regularly. So go ahead and subscribe, ring the notification bell so you get that notification when we are live so you can hop into these drafts much like Chris did with us. Kill has been in plenty of drafts. T-Co has been in plenty of drafts. We've had plenty of subscribers get into these drafts with us, so it's very possible. And then if not, you can always hop in the chat and bounce some ideas around. We got plenty of guys in here that think they know what they're talking about. Some of them might know what they're talking about. I definitely don't know what I'm talking about, so I'll give you my opinion, but I don't know what that's worth. I already drafted the winning Puppy 3 team, so I'm just drafting. Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. You're just drafting to stay fresh. I hear you. Give me the first 5 players, or give me the staples of the draft that you think you're gonna win with. Because I think here, let me see if I can find the draft that I think I'll win with. And it's gonna look. You guys are gonna. Oh man, we're getting up there in drafts. You guys are gonna make fun of me when I tell you this is the draft we're gonna win with. But the values we got in this draft. We've already highlighted it, but we'll highlight it again. Where is it? I know it's the draft when I see really bad quarterbacks. Is this it? I don't think. No. No, not this one. Oh, we've drafted so many. It's this one. This is the winning draft right here. So you look at the quarterbacks, you're like, yeah, right. But we have Tua. We reached on him. We had Trevor Lawrence fall to us at 157. We had Daniel Jones fall to us at 180. So quarterbacks, bad, but we have 3 at value. So that's important to note. Running backs are Najee Harris, Chase Edmonds, James Cook, Nyheim Hines falling to us extremely far, J.D. McKissick, and Jerick McKinnon. And then our wide receivers are Mike Williams falling to us at the end of the 3rd, Jalen Waddle, Brandon Cooks falling to us, Rashad Bateman, Hunter Renfrow, Kenny Galladay, Marvin Jones, Travis Kelce, and Dalton Schultz both at value. Yeah, I think the value that we got on this team is just unbeatable. We have multiple players at 20 pick values, and I know ADP isn't everything, but it's a very unique build. So it's a boring roster to look at, but when you look at the combination of everybody and the floor and ceiling that we built, I don't know, Chris. I don't know. I just told you the team that's gonna win. Oh, true. Okay, no, Kelly, you still haven't. I admit, Hill was in the 4th. How does that happen? Okay, let me see. No. How? I don't understand. So you got CMC Swift probably right around here. Then you had Barkley falling in the 3rd, which that's crazy enough. Then you had Hill in the 4th. I think this is a cap. Killa, I think this is a cap. I'm gonna be honest with you. Was it like a puppy draft? What was it? Was it a Best Ball Mania draft like months ago? How did you get that? I don't understand how you get these like that. See, I think that I have these good drafts, and then I look at guys like you that get these values that I've literally never seen, and then it's like, how do I even have a chance? When you start off Barkley, Swift, CMC, Hill, like there is nobody else with that combination. I don't know, man. I think you might be like in a 6-man team and you're just not telling us, or 6-man draft. Puppy draft, God. That's wild, bro. Honestly, I should just quit. I'm done. I can't. I mean, when my first 4 picks are Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Leonard Fournette, Cam Akers. I mean, I like it, but Swift, Barkley, CMC, Hill, man. But then we have Chris coming in saying running backs on the winning team are Eckler, Aaron Jones, Tony Pollard, James Cook, Brian Robinson, Pacheco. That's very solid, but I don't know if that's a league-winning running back core. I mean, maybe it is, depending on what the rest of your team looks like. Give me some insight here. Oh, man. You know what's funny is the last 2. Oh, wait, I can't show that. All right, so that's the draft. Debating if I should just get into another one. What are we at right now? We're at 86%. Yikes. Hammer these puppy drafts while you can, boys. Hammer them. Because we don't have much time left. We do not have much time left because we will be in puppy drafts constantly until they're full. This might be the last one, no? They might get one more out. Maybe they get one more out in the next 2 weeks. But I would have to imagine if they get another one out, it's going to be quick. Because it looks like Puppy 3 is probably going to fill up in the next 2 days. So, unless they got one out the 15th, next Monday, I guess they could get one out the following week. They've got to do at least one more, though. I can't, I can't be done after this. I've got to get in one of the big dogs. Yeah, I really was interested in the 101 Dalmatian one. That's the one I would have gotten to if I got into a bigger one. 250 is a little. $100 I could justify. 250, I don't know, man. I will say you do have, what is it, like a 33% chance of getting your money back or making $50. I think it's like a 33% chance. So I mean, your odds are pretty decent. 1 in 3. And there's a 1 in 2,000 shot at getting $100,000. That's bread. 350 last year, made it to first playoff. Oh shit! So you won. I guess you probably won your money back and then $50 or something like that. I'm sure the payouts were a little different, but all right, we're gonna do one more. I'll give it a second just in case anyone's trying to get in here with us. All right. You guys are trying to get in here. I hope you're ready. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're in. Filled, though. No way you guys got in. No shot. We're the 12th pick. Bro, I have been the 12th pick so much lately. So much. And I like the 12th pick. it used to be one of my favorite spots to draft, but I've been getting it so much. I just feel like I'm drafting the same players every time. But we'll try to spice it up a little bit. We'll try to spice it up. Yeah, basically my money back. Don't remember exactly. 450 or close to it. Yeah, okay. That's pretty cool though. Yeah, I don't even want to know how much I spent this year on this, and I don't think it's slowing down either. Yeah, once the season starts, I've been bouncing the ideas around of transitioning the channel into doing like very casual ranking videos at each position that you can use for trades in your redraft leagues and or waiver wire pickups. But I've also kind of floated the idea of doing almost exactly what we do now, but making weekly teams with FanDuel or DraftKings. And instead of doing drafts, we'll just hop in here, get a live stream going, and just build a team together, which I think that'd be a little more fun than the rankings, to be honest. We could do the rankings, and I think it would be really useful, but I think building FanDuel and DraftKings teams would be really fun. Yeah. Yeah, that might be more fun, because then we can just hop in here and Chris can pretend like he's got the best team per usual, and then we can kind of just actually make the best team. So I will be doing FanDuel and DraftKings regardless, so I will tell you that. We have Jamar Chase going towards the 6. DFS. What's DFS? Is that DraftKings? I've always been on FanDuel, but I probably should make the switch this year. From what I've heard, the format is a lot better. All right, what are we looking at here? What does Joe Mixon got to say? Among starters who could sit Friday? Yeah, no shit. I've been getting higher and higher on Deebo Samuel. That's a player I have been very interested in lately. But we'll see who falls, because the first round's kind of decided for us depending on who falls. Yeah, daily fantasy. Oh, okay. Yeah, so we'll probably make the switch to DraftKings and then do that. Well, I mean, we'll definitely do that on the channel. If we do, I was more between if we're gonna do rankings and then one DraftKings, or if we're just gonna do like every night like we do these puppy drafts. Maybe we'll just make a DraftKings team every night of the week that we are available. So I think that's what we'll end up doing, because that's just more fun for me, and I gotta have fun making them. So we're hoping for Derrick Henry to fall one more pick. It's very possible, but not probable. There he goes. So what do we want to do? What do we want to do? I think we'll chase the ceiling. We're going to go CD and Deebo. The funny thing is about Deebo that a lot of people forget is that he was so good last year. He got suppressed by let me see if I can pull this up. All right, Fantasy Pro. This might oops. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so if we go back and we look at Deebo Samuel, 300 fantasy points in the season and a half PPR. Which, you know, Cooper Kupp had 367, which is just absolutely ridiculous. One of the best wide receiver seasons ever. But that is really suppressing Deebo Samuel's, like, what he did. Because if you look back at previous years, 300 points, mind you. Remember that. 300 points, 18.8 points per game. If you look back at previous seasons, we go back to 2020, the number one receiver was Devontae Adams at 300 fantasy points. We go back one more season, number one receiver, Michael Thomas, 300 fantasy points. So Deebo Samuel produced at a number one receiver caliber, but then got completely overshadowed with Cooper Kupp, and he's falling all the way to the second round this year. So I'm a little higher on Deebo lately. And we're going to start off with the CD Deebo start, which is not super common, but we'll go with the double wide receiver start because, like I said before, we're very frequent with going double running back start, which we've talked about why, but I do want to switch it up and try something a little different, especially because we've been drafting at this position so much frequently. And I think the start we usually end up going is either like a Najee Joe Mixon or a Dalvin Cook Joe Mixon or Devontae Adams, Najee, something like that. But we're going to switch it up and go CD and Debo and try to shoot for those players that we don't have a whole lot of exposure to. Because if you looked when we were looking at our fantasy drafts, we're like 150 fantasy or 130 fantasy drafts in at this point. And we are trying to switch it up a little bit. So we'll start CD and Debo. I think their ceilings are, we don't need to talk about them a whole lot because they're pretty obvious. Especially when you compare it to Najee. Najee is a very good floor running back. I think he's going to be a redraft league winner because he's pretty much going to give you 20 points every single game. And he's not going to have a super high ceiling, not a super low floor. He's going to be right around the 20-point mark all the time. So he'll be a easy bet to throw in your lineup. But for these Best Ball Mania formats, or these best ball formats when we're shooting for the ceiling, I don't think Najee's the guy. I think we have a lot higher of a ceiling with CD and Debo and then grabbing like a Travis Etienne, Breece Hall on our way back around. Yeah, Daily Fantasy, we could jump into small 3 to 5 group winner take all challenges on DK or FanDuel. I use both. Not crazy money, mostly for bragging rights. Listen, Chris, we got to do the tournaments, okay? We're going to all enter the same tournament. We'll be going up against each other. We'll be able to track each other's status the entire week, but I need to be in tournaments. I need that high dollar payoff. I'm never going to win it, but I need it to be there. I need to be there to be excited. I like Debo. I just don't trust Lance. I have some Debo. He's one of my favorite players in the league. Yeah, I mean, he's one of the most polarizing players in the league if you're just talking about purely just who your favorite player is. The thing about him is his injury concern. I mean, he does have quite an injury history, but I think Trey Lance being in that offense doesn't really bother me a whole lot because he is used as the wide back. He's used in the running game and the passing game. They just paid him bread, so they're going to scheme up as much place for him as possible. So I think he'll be utilized. It's just a matter of staying healthy. I'm not worried about the Trey Lance quarterback switch up. I'm just worried about him staying healthy. I will say, though, I have been hearing a lot about Brandon Ayuk in camp. I've been hearing he's getting a lot of buzz. Sounds like him and Trey Lance are connecting pretty well. All right, if you guys are just getting into the stream now, go ahead and drop a like for me. It helps me out a lot, and it really supports the channel. We're a smaller channel. We've been posting pretty regularly this entire offseason, or at least the past few months. And we've been getting pretty good amount of traction, so I really would appreciate if you guys go through and give me a little bit of love. I was going to double up on running back with Breece Hall and Travis Etienne, but Cortland Sutton is just looking very tempting. If we're talking about ceiling, that's our ceiling right there. So what we'll do is we'll grab Cortland Sutton, open up a potential stack, grab our elite wide receivers. But now the question is if we want to go Breece Hall or Travis Etienne. I want to go Travis Etienne. He's going to get all of the passing game. I really don't have enough exposure on Breece Hall, though I will say that. I don't think I have much on Etienne or Breece Hall, and I can't pass up Cortland Sutton right there. Not with him being the potential wide receiver 1 for Russell Wilson. I mean the ceiling is way too high, so I have to go Cortland Sutton, but I was planning on going Travis Etienne, Breece Hall on that turn, so doesn't hurt. See, this is why I didn't draft Robert Woods that past draft. If you were watching the first draft, Chris was asking why didn't we draft Robert Woods. I think we went with like Tyler Lockett instead. This is why. This is why. And I was also talking about how if Josh Jacobs busts, then we're kind of screwed. This is why. Who are we looking for? Travis Etienne, 7.6%, 4.3. Yes, we have like no Brees Hall, which isn't that doesn't really abide very well because I'm not going to be able to regurgitate the stat verbatim, but it was something along the lines where when rookie running backs are going in the first 5 rounds, they pretty much always produce at their ADP value or better. You're usually not disappointed on a running back that has an ADP in the first 5 rounds. I think I heard that on Fantasy Pros. Or no. Fantasy Footballers. Shout out to them. So, not having a large stake in Brees Hall is actually kind of painful, and it's because I go so running back heavy in the first couple rounds that I'm looking for wide receivers here. And that's why we've been trying to reverse it. CeeDee Lamb, Debo, Cortland Sutton, then Travis Etienne. So that'll put us in the market for like a J.K. Dobbins at the turn. And I think if we can, we'll try to double up on running backs at that turn unless there's a crazy value falling to us. I'm just trying to see what that value would look like. We'll just have to wait and see. We'll analyze when we get there. Because I do want an elite. I do want an elite quarterback with this next pick, or this next, or maybe not this next turn. I think we still have room. Yeah, so we can still grab someone in the 7th or 8th if we don't see anyone we like at this turn. But I am going to be looking at quarterbacks the 5 and 6 turn because last draft we didn't grab a quarterback till the 10-11 turn. So I'm going to switch it up and try to grab a stack with either Cortland Sutton, Debo, or CD, which we are in the market, or we are in a position to grab any of those guys. I think Trey Lance is the least likely to fall to us because I'm not going to reach on him in the 6th round. So if he falls to us at the end of the 7th, we can grab him. But his ADP is 72, and we're not going to have a pick till 84. So it's very unlikely he falls to us. But I think that Dak and... Where's Dak? I think Dak falls in our range, and Russell Wilson falls closer to our range. So we'll shoot for those guys if we can. Chris says I got 64th on DK Millie once. DK Millie. Is that like $1 million tournament? Damn, 64th is crazy. I'm sure there's probably like hundreds of thousands of contestants in that one. We have Patrick Mahomes falling. If he's there, we'll grab him for sure. Yeah, we'll definitely grab Patrick Mahomes if he's there. So George Kittle does go. That's someone we were looking at. We're definitely going to grab Patrick Mahomes. That's easy money. So we'll queue him up, but I do want to look for a second. David Montgomery is who I'm looking at since I only have one running back. I could grab a Michael Thomas. Dominates Wednesday. Oh, God. Yeah, no. We're just fucking doing it. Patrick Mahomes and Michael Thomas. So what this team is betting on basically is Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne needs to be a league winner for us to win this with this team. But I will say, if Travis Etienne comes out and just absolutely performs at like a DeAndre Swift level, which is very possible with his skill set and the situation that he's in, being that he's with his quarterback from Clemson, so it's possible he produces at a DeAndre Swift level. And if he does, look at our wide receivers to back him up. I mean, we have CD, Debo, Cortland Sutton, and Michael Thomas. And Michael Thomas has gotten hate the entire offseason. And maybe not hate's not the word, but he's been overlooked the entire offseason because of the question marks with his injury. He's finally back, and we're grabbing him at a value where, or not a value, we're grabbing him at an ADP range where there's really not much value there. But last time we saw him, he was the wide receiver #1 overall. What was that? 2019? Yeah, 2019 he was the #1 receiver overall, which I don't think he repeats that, obviously, but I think it's very possible he's in the top 10. I think that Jameis Winston is very underrated, especially in these fantasy football drafts. I think it's possible that he produces at a very high rate as well. Let's see if 2019. No, that wasn't Jameis. I think 2018 is the last time we saw Jameis as a starter. When did no? What? Wait. When was Jameis last a starter? I mean, he started last year, but he was injured the entire year. Jameis Winston. Oh yeah, right here. Yeah, number 3 quarterback just 2 years ago, or I guess 3 years ago now. I mean, COVID's not that old. This is as old as COVID. So I think Jameis Winston's ADP is actually really low. So I have been capitalizing on him quite a bit. And if we don't get values falling to us at the quarterback position, we can grab Jameis Winston late for the Michael Thomas stack. So obviously we're in catch-up mode right now with the running back position, but we'll just have to wait and see what kind of values fall to us. I'm not really worried about it right now. If we don't make it out of these next couple rounds with some running backs with upside, I will be getting a little bit nervous, but there's still plenty of people on the board, including CEH. Let's look ahead, actually. CEH is 87, Sky Moore's 91, which are 2 of the players we really would like to get. So maybe we reach on them, actually. Maybe we go CEH and Sky Moore at this turn. Because that'll also set us up to go for a 7 wide receiver build and stop there. Because we'll be liking our wide receiver options after that. Now, that being said, if Trey Lance makes his way all the way back to us, if Josh Jacobs makes his way all the way back to us, if Russell Wilson makes his way all the way back to us, then we're gonna have to make a choice. Because we are kind of in line to grab another quarterback here. Because odds are either Trey Lance, Dak Prescott, or Russell Wilson will fall. Especially at this point, only being 8 picks away. I will prefer Trey Lance. The question is, if Trey Lance and Josh Jacobs fall to us, can we skip on Sky Moore? Because I would definitely prefer Sky Moore over CEH for sure. I actually have been taking CEH to leverage my particular. Yeah. I really started off we could look. I have like pretty much no CEH. Yeah, 2%. I am a CEH hater for sure. But with Patrick Mahomes, I've been looking at him a little bit more because I know that last year he was dealing with an injury. He had his gallbladder surgery. And before that, I think is when he was a rookie. So it is very possible that he comes on the field and has a lot better season this year than what we're used to. But I just don't think CEH is that guy. So I really have been preferring guys like Jerick McKinnon and Rojo over CEH. Because I mean, if you forgot, Jerick McKinnon got more volume in the playoffs last year than CEH did. And I think that Jerick McKinnon, truthfully, is a better player. All right. Oh, God. Okay, so do we want a Patrick Mahomes Sky Moore stack, or do we want a Russell Wilson Cortland Sutton stack more? If Russell Wilson falls to us right here, which one do we want more? I think we want the Russell Wilson Cortland Sutton stack more. Because I feel like oh, God. Do I have to take a running back right here? Like, I feel like I do. Because our next pick is 108. No. Okay, we're not going to lose it. We're going to go Russell Wilson right here. We're going to revert to that Taco Bell commercial way back when. Porque no los dos. Okay, we're going to get the stack with Cortland Sutton, and we're going to get the stack with Sky Moore. I'm going to trust the process and hope that we get some running backs falling to us. I know we're through 8 rounds now with 1 running back. And again, I mean, we said it at the beginning of the draft. We're betting on Travis Etienne just hammering the running back position this year. We're betting on him overproducing. But again, it's very possible with his skill set. And if he can be the anchor running back on this team, the rest of our team is absolutely stacked. I mean, the ceiling on the wide receiver room is ridiculous. The ceiling on the quarterback room is ridiculous. So if we can piece together a good running back core behind the start that we have, This could be one of my favorite teams. It's just we have to get some values falling to us because I do think that players like Ramondre Stevenson have an extremely high ceiling where you can grab him at pick 95. I think that James Cook is a very high ceiling. I think Ken Walker has a high ceiling. Now, I will say out with foot injury. Whoa, this is news. Gordon missed Wednesday practice with a foot injury. And this is why Javonte's so enticing because they came out and said the split's going to be 55-45 between Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams, obviously favoring Javonte Williams. But Melvin Gordon is getting up there in age. If we look, Melvin Gordon age. Yeah, he's going on 30 years old, and he's a running back. Getting close to that 1,500 touch rule that we were talking about in previous videos. Apparently, that is where the cutoff is. That's when people start completely falling off and having really bad injury issues. And he's very close to that, which is why people are taking Javonte so early because they're basically betting on Melvin Gordon going down. Because the games that Melvin Gordon was down, man, Javonte Williams is an incredible prospect. Incredible. I think he had like 30 points in PPR those couple weeks that he was down. Exactly. I mean, that's the same. Chris says he will never draft a 30-year-old running back, and that's the same reason I'm not drafting Ezekiel Elliott either. I will say, if you're looking for a floor, if you have some running backs ahead of him, like 3 running backs ahead of him that have a really high ceiling but aren't super, you aren't super comfortable with their floor, you can go ahead and grab Melvin Gordon because if he does stay healthy, then he does bring that floor. And when I say floor, I'm talking 12 to 20 points, 20 being few and far between, shooting for that 12 to 15 point range. And it doesn't sound good, but when you get into this range of running backs, that's kind of what you're hoping for. I mean, because if you look down here, we're talking about committee running backs. So I get the pick depending on your roster construction because I mean every one of these drafts you can have your favorite players, but you have got to go in with a fresh mindset, with as fresh of a mindset as possible, and build your team based off of the roster construction that you're making on the fly. So there are roster constructions that I think suit Melvin Gordon, but this one is definitely not it. 3 running backs, 2-2-2. Yeah, so Kareem Hunt probably won't make it to us. So we're in the market for Ken Walker or Cordero probably. But we're going to go 2 running backs. Yeah, so Kareem Hunt does go. Okay, so we'll double up on Devin Singletary and Ken Walker. I think Devin Singletary is more of your higher floor guy, lower ceiling, and then I think Ken Walker is your lower floor, higher ceiling. So that's a good compliment at the turn. And again, same situation. If Ken Walker, if Rashad Penny goes down, Chris Carson already retired. If Ken Walker takes over the starting role, and the prospect that he was, let me remind you the prospect that Ken Walker is. He's in a really bad situation, which is why he's going so late, and he's behind Rashad Penny. So Rashad Penny is very good. Also was a great prospect, but he can't stay healthy. He's only started 6 games in his, I think, 3-year career. But if we look at Ken Walker's draft profile, let's just look at the specimen that this guy is. This guy could be incredible. 4.38, 122 broad jump, round 2, pick 9. Like, that is so high for a running back. When did Breece Hall go? 5'9", 211. I mean, this guy is the truth. Who were we just talking about? Breece Hall. When did he go? .439. Yeah, so we're talking Breece Hall and Ken Walker are very similar backs. Which is not a bad thing. So, and we're getting Ken Walker at pick 109. So, it's not guaranteed. His starting touches are definitely not guaranteed. He will be in a committee running back if Rashad Penny is healthy on a bad offense. But if anything happens to Rashad Penny, which is kind of likely, then this team will open up. If something happens to, I'm blanking right now. What's his name? James Cook. His ceiling raises, but again, Devin Singletary is more of the high floor, low ceiling type guy. So I think we're on the right track to make up the running back position, but we still have some ways to go. So if we look ahead to the next round at 132 and 133, what are we looking at? 132 and 133 is Nyheim Hines' range, which I would love to grab Nyheim Hines. I think that raises our ceiling. And like Alexander Mattison. I think if we get those two players, then our ceiling will be very high at the running back position, contingent on some injuries, obviously, but will give us plenty of explosive potential. And then if anything happens in our favor at the running back position, we're set. We're gonna win $200,000. So we're hoping for Alexander Mattison and Nyheim Hines at this next turn. And then again, we might even go like 4 tight ends at the end of this draft. I will never draft Javonte 47%. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I guess you did draft him in the second round last draft. Yeah, Javonte at 47% is definitely not a bad idea. I do not hate that bet at all. Let's see what mine is at. The thing about you, Chris, is that you like hammer your guys. Like my highest exposure is 18%. I like to diversify my portfolio. But you don't. Javonte Williams, where is he? 7.6%. All right. I do like Javonte, so maybe I got to bump those numbers up. I definitely have to bump those numbers up, just in case. Juju up to 91%, bro. Holy shit. You are wildin'. Wildin'. All right, now the question is if Darrell Henderson falls, do we even dabble? I don't think our ceiling's as high with Darrell Henderson, though. But it will be more... Okay, Darrell Henderson goes. We don't have to think about it. Dameon Pierce, no thank you. I don't care how far he falls. We told you the guys we're looking for, and we're sticking to it. As long as this guy doesn't go either of them. He doesn't, so we'll go Alexander Mattison and Nyheim Hines just like we wanted to, and I think that our ceiling now is ridiculous at the running back position. So we recovered nicely. So now we have Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson at quarterback, studs. Travis Etienne, Devin Singletary, Ken Walker, Alexander Mattison, Nyheim Hines. Tons of potential. And then we have CeeDee Lamb, Deebo Samuel, Cortland Sutton, Michael Thomas, Sky Moore. I mean, this team is off to a fantastic start. Albert O would be nice to have fall to us in the next round, but that is very unlikely considering our next pick is until 156 and his ADP is going. Okay, he goes. 156 and 157. So we're looking at our Mike Gesicki's, our Hunter Henrys, and we'll double up on tight end at this turn. I think our preferred choice is Mike Gesicki and Hunter Henry, and then our second option is one of these two, and then David Njoku. That's who we're looking at. We have no stacks. Travis Kelce obviously is gone, and then Russell Wilson. We just saw Alberto go. All right, come here. You want to say hi? Come here. No, doesn't want to say hi. DB. Oh, there you are. Say what's up to the underdogs. Now I just got to get this thing back. Hearing the recent Pacheco hype has been a true joy, shocking even to me. What have you been hearing? I've actually been seeing it too. Like, I mean, clearly there's been the hype because he's been shooting up ADP. I never even heard of him, and now he's like 166 or 191. That's wild, considering he wasn't even like getting drafted a couple weeks ago, or like a week ago, even honestly. And I think that's when you were drafting him. You were drafting him in like the round like I think round 18. So yeah, I would be feeling the same way if I were you. And I could go with him as a 6 running back later on, potentially. Could be a good shot. What's up, Z? Oh, Chris, stop. You're going to make me draft him. I mean, this would be a perfect team to draft him. All right, where can we swing it? Can we swing it? 191. He's not going to fall to us at 204. I can't reach it. I can't reach on him at 181. I do. All right. Oh, Killa, of course. I thought I gave you the warning, bro. All right, let me give you the recap because I'm really liking this team. You can tell me what you think. Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson at quarterback. Running back is potential heavy. Travis Etienne, Devin Singletary, Ken Walker, Alexander Madison, Naeem Hines. This is shooting for the upside on these players, barring injury. And then our wide receivers, CeeDee Lamb, Deebo Samuel, Cortland Sutton, Michael Thomas, Sky Moore. Sky Moore obviously stacked with Patrick Mahomes. Cortland Sutton stacked with Russell Wilson. And we have Chris trying to... Oh, don't be sorry, bro. I'm just sorry you weren't able to get in here with us, but no worries. Chris is trying to talk us into getting Isaiah Pacheco. Ooh! Yeah, I'm not double tapping tight end. You already know what I'm trying to do right here. Yeah, we're going KJ Hamler. And we're going old brick hands, Gerald Everett, baby. Honestly, would have done without Sutton for a running back. Yeah, so you weren't here, but what I was planning on doing was Travis Etienne and Breece Hall at that turn. But what we were saying was I do so many drafts running back heavy that I have been intentionally trying to hold myself to go wide receiver heavy. I don't know if I said that flip, but usually I do running backs in the first and second round for sure. And a lot of times even the third round if we have a little bit of a value falling to us. We're doing the flip of that. We're doing double wide receiver to start. And then Cortland Sutton fell to us at like a 6-pick value. So we capitalized on that and we stacked him with Russell Wilson and KJ Hamler. And trusted that we could get some running back values falling to us later on, which we did. Now, the thing about this running back room is we're betting on Travis Etienne being a DeAndre Swift-style player, which he's very capable of doing, considering his involvement in the passing game. And then if you look with our last 3 picks, Naeem Hines, Alexander Madison, and Ken Walker, they're one injury away from being top 10 backs, top 12 backs on their respective offenses. So this running back room is definitely the production is contingent on some factors, but if the factors work out in our favor, the ceiling of this team are league winning. So that's the idea of this draft is, yeah, it's definitely not a safe team. This would be a horrible team in a redraft league, but for this best ball format, I actually really like it. I really do like it, and we're shooting for, these wide receivers, we're shooting for 4 of these scores to count, and then with these running backs, if anything happens in our favor, we're looking very good on this team. So I agree it's not the best looking running back room right now, but if anything goes in our favor throughout the season, then in our favor as far as this fantasy team goes, then we will be sitting very pretty. And you never know what's going to happen. So picking the guys that everyone thinks are going to do well and perform, that's not necessarily going to win you these tournament-style drafts. So the upside is what we're targeting with this running back room, and I will say the upside with this running back room is very high. Very high upside. Very low floor, too. I will definitely admit that to you. Very low floor, but very high. And again, don't forget that Cortland Sutton opened up a Russell Wilson, KJ Hamler double stack opportunity for us. And with Patrick Mahomes falling to us at the end of the 5th and being able to sack him with Sky Moore, I like this team a lot. I really do. Killa says, love the Denver stacks. Chris says, this is definitely one of your better teams by a lot. Killer Gorilla says, honestly, I think I have 0 ETN, but he could be a league winner. Yeah, it's funny. That's so funny how different the opinions are. Because, like, you have Killa in here, like, kind of more like me, where when I don't get running backs in the first 3 rounds, I feel very antsy. But then you have guys like Chris, amongst plenty of other players. Like, I would say the majority of Underdog fantasy drafters are shooting for that 3 wide receiver start because of their ceiling and because you can have 4 wide receiver scores count on a weekly basis. A lot of them are doing this exact strategy. Whoa, 3rd time's a charm. So yeah, I actually really do like this team a lot because the ceiling is so high. I think this team can win us a tournament, but I don't think this would be a good team for a redraft league. But we're not in a redraft league. And I agree, ETN definitely could be a league winner. For sure. He's not a true rookie. He's in a situation he's comfortable with his college quarterback. He's on a very young, highly talented, I won't say highly, but he's in a very young, talented Jacksonville Jaguar offense with a coach that isn't trying to prey on little girls. So, I mean, could work out. Here this turn, we're definitely shooting for Austin Hooper and Hayden Hurst, which, if this guy doesn't take him, we should be able to grab. Oh, but, oh, man, this is where I have to make my decision on Isaiah Pacheco, though, huh? So the question here, when I'm thinking about reaching on Isaiah Pacheco, is Hayden Hurst and or Austin Hooper that much different than Brave and Jordan? I'm sorry, Chris. I can't reach on him. I can't reach on a guy that is 3. He's the 4th or 5th on the running back depth chart. I know he's been getting the buzz. I know he has been the talk of all fantasy podcasts, which is exactly why I can't draft him right here. I can't buy him at his high. I can. It's not buy high, sell low. I gotta. If he falls to us, we'll justify the pick, but I can't reach on him. Not 10 picks ahead of value when he's already been shooting up ADP because of being the talk of these podcasts. So even though I think this team really suits him, I can't reach that far. Especially since we would be buying him at his absolute peak. Can he be a league winner? Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. But yeah, I can't reach on him in the first pick of the 16th round. Can't do it. Chris says Rashad Penny, and Devin Singletary won the tourney last year. This team is solid. Risky years per cup. Exactly. We're not drafting redraft leagues. We're drafting for absolute league-winning upside. Because let's not forget, there's 223,560 people in this tournament, and we're shooting for the number 1 spot overall. So if we go and just hammer, ADP, and get the best available and lock in our solid running back, every team has done that, including me. So we need to go for those league-winning upsides, and I think Travis Etienne has that. I think Devin Singletary has that. I think Ken Walker has that. I think Alexander Madison has that if Dalvin Cook gets injured. And honestly, Naheem Hines has that as well if anything happened to Jonathan Taylor. Obviously, never rooting for injuries, but they happen. And this team would be the direct beneficiary of that if we have some of those guys getting injured and our guys stepping up. And then look at our wide receiver room. Our tight ends ended up not being too bad. I think there's a fine tight end room to fish for some touchdowns with. All on good offenses, which is really what you want when you're fishing for touchdowns in the tight end position. You just want good offenses that will get you to the red zone frequently and then be able to just dump a 2-yard pass into the tight end, which, Bengals, Chargers, Titans. Titans are the worst, but I think this tight end room is plenty good. Has plenty of red zone opportunities to be good enough for where we drafted them. We have 2 picks left. Isaiah Pacheco still isn't gone, so if he does make it back to us, we'll take him over Jerick McKinnon. All right, go ahead, Chris. Drop it. What is your Pacheco exposure while we're on the topic? What is raining here? Holy. What up to everybody in the chat? Hope you guys are enjoying it. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please do so already. Once the season starts, we're going to probably do the same style of stream, but we're going to switch over to DraftKings and then potentially do rankings, but we might stick with this style of channel. So go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and ring the notification bell so you can get into some of these drafts with us, much like some of our subscribers have already. And if not, it'll notify you so you can hop into the chat and spit some ideas around. And then go ahead and like the video while you're in here. It really helps us out. We're a new and growing channel. And, we have been getting plenty of traction lately. And it honestly has been so fun and so cool. And it's been happening pretty quickly. So we're going to continue the road. We're going to continue getting out content and make sure you're here for that. So, again, like the video. If this is your first time here, it shows me some love. And I hope you enjoy the content. If not, that's okay. I'm just a guy in here trying to get some exposure to these drafts. And, Isaiah Pacheco goes. I was hopeful there for a second. But, yeah, we're trying to get some exposure to these drafts. I started doing this because I was watching people on YouTube do it, and I said, might as well do it myself. So that's what we're doing. And, honestly, I just want practice so that when I get into my friend leagues, I can hopefully wipe the floor with them. But I'm sure it's going to work out where I draft the first 2 people I draft get injured as usual. And then I end up coming in last place and having to do some league punishment. Last year, our league punishment was a 12-hour stream of a video game we do not like. So the idea of being in a Waffle House for 24 hours and having the amount of pancakes you eat going against your time has been tossed around, and I do not want to be on the other side of that. So I would love to not come in last place. We'll say that. Jerick McKinnon is the obvious choice for us. We need one more running back to give us a little bit of upside. But I will say I think we want to go ahead and try to get another wide receiver. I think that is the play here. Yeah, we'll try to grab another wide receiver. Or we could get a tight end. Keep fishing for those touchdowns. We'll throw him in here just in case our time runs out. We have so much OBJ. We'll go Sammy Watkins, though. I actually did see some pretty good reports of him getting some decent touches in practice or in camp. He just got back out there. And, we still don't know who's going to be the number 1 guy for the Green Bay Packers. And I don't think it's going to be as obvious as it's been, obviously, I guess, because Devontae Adams he's in a league of his own. But I really don't think it's Allen Lazard, and Christian Watson is missing time. Sammy Watkins is the easy veteran that even though he probably won't get a ton of targets just because of his age and the style of player he is, I think he will get some red zone targets because he is a sure-handed veteran. So it's very possible that he gives us a payoff, and I am comfortable with our tight ends to the point where I don't need to take a Logan Thomas. So just to recap, this team, and this is why we don't pay attention to projections, is because projections are stupid. Okay, so our quarterbacks are Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson. Our running backs are Travis Etienne, Devin Singletary, Ken Walker, Alexander Madison, Naeem Hines, and Jarrett McKinnon stacked with Patrick Mahomes. Again, the running back room is chasing purely upside on this team, which is completely opposite of what we usually do. But I think we have something going here for us. I like this running back room based off of where we took the players and what their ceiling is. So just keep that in mind. Our wide receivers are clearly the stars of this team. CeeDee Lamb, Deebo Samuel, Cortland Sutton stacked with Russell Wilson, Michael Thomas, Sky Moore stacked with Patrick Mahomes, KJ Hamler double stacked with Russell Wilson and Sammy Watkins. And then our tight ends, we're fishing for touchdowns with Gerald Everett on the Chargers, great offense. Hayden Hurst on the Bengals, great offense. Austin Hooper on the Titans, decent offense with not that many receiving options. So I think this team is one of my favorite teams that I've drafted in a while, to be honest with you. We have elite quarterbacks. We have elite ceiling potential in our running back room. We have elite receivers. And then our tight ends are on great offenses that can get in the end zone on a weekly basis. And we drafted 3 of them so that hopefully on any given week, one of them will score a touchdown and we'll be set there. So that's our final team, and that will be the final draft. I have my dogs back there harassing me to take them outside, but I don't think I can anymore because it is pouring rain. So I'm going to go play with them. What do we got? First year doing best ball. It's addictive. Donald, I think that's how you say it. You don't have to tell me, okay? I do have a YouTube channel that I started, but don't be fooled. This is my first year as well, and I'm sure this is not as much as some of you guys, but we have 118 drafts in our first year. Some are Best Ball Mania. Most are Puppy. So addictive, bro. So addictive. It's worth it. Wait, I missed a lot. Don't ask for my pitch. 25%. Okay, that's not as high as I thought. I've been banking on Seattle getting a quarterback. If they do, I win. Yeah, because you've been drafting a ton of DK Metcalf. It's worth drafting if these two with these. Oh shit! These two, you get unbelievable value. I got Taylor in the second round. No, you didn't, bro. What the hell? Was I there for that? I don't think I was. Pancake eating was one of the worst things I've ever tried. No syrup. Yeah, dude. Pancake eating contest? Ew. Bro, I could never do an eating contest. I'm tall, so I'm 200 pounds, but I really am pretty skinny, so I definitely could not house. Pancake eating contest. Last week, my man did a $5,000 giveaway. Who else does that? Not Fantasy Flock. Wait, who did a $5,000 giveaway? Oh, right. No, yeah. We did. I don't know why I forgot that for a second. We do $5,000 giveaways all the time. All the time. So go ahead and subscribe. Listen to Killa. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Killa, you might earn yourself a share on this channel if you keep it up. I tapped at 14 at IHOP. 14 is pretty impressive, although IHOP pancakes are pretty small. Yeah, dude. Next $5,000 giveaway. All you guys got to do is get this stream to 100 likes, and we'll do a $5,000 giveaway like we usually do. Donald says he's at 27. Yeah, I mean, for me, starting the YouTube channel was like an easy. That helps me sleep at night to say that I make the videos. So I'm, it's not all money down the drain, but I mean, come on. 118 drafts in my first season. I'm wilding out a little bit there, but okay, yeah, I'm gonna go play with these dogs. They are getting very antsy back there. I don't know if you guys can hear them, but Donald, Killa, Chris, appreciate you guys all coming out. Everyone else that came out to support the channel, appreciate it. Give it a like on your way out, subscribe on your way out, and ring the notification bell. We're going to continue to do these drafts. I think this puppy draft will fill up in the next couple days, and then we'll continue with the programming as scheduled. So we'll do wide receiver rankings, running back rankings, and Best Ball Mania drafts here and there. We usually do 1 or 2 a week with the Best Ball Manias once the puppy draft ends. So look out for that. And then once we get into the season, we'll get into the DraftKings tournaments and do it the same style that we're doing this. So shout out to everyone for supporting the channel. Again, we've been getting tons of traction and tons of support. So thank you, everyone. I love doing this. It's so much fun. I'm glad to be back. Thank you for welcoming me back with open arms. And we'll be back up tomorrow. If not tomorrow, we'll be back up Friday. We got, like I said, we got a little bit of family in town, so we got to plan around that. But we post multiple times a week. So thank you, everybody. Everyone have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.